Welcome back to Studio Life, everybody. Today we're going to be looking at a plugin, but before that, I saw a video by Whitesy about a week ago where he was talking about his ethics, and I've had a couple of people ask me about my ethics. As far as I'm concerned, it's a place just over past London, underneath Norfolk and Suffolk. Not really. Anyway, yeah, it's a weird one. I think it's quite simple. As far as I'm concerned, I will not do a paid review. Just won't. If someone offers me money, and they have, and I've got emails, I'll gladly show anyone if they ask. I get asked, if we give you this amount of money, will you do us a review of our plugin? Even if they say you can say what you like, I never ever get involved. No one has ever paid me to review their plugin. No one's ever paid me to review hardware or anything. I don't do that. So sponsorship is something else. As far as I'm concerned, if someone wants to sponsor the show or sponsor an episode, that's fine. As long as it's nothing to do with what I'm reviewing, and as long as I'm transparent that there is sponsorship, that's fine. But there mustn't be a correlation between who's paying for the show and what you're reviewing. That can't happen. If someone pays you for a review, it's no longer a review, is it? It's just an advert. So yeah, don't get involved in any of that stuff. I just do reviews of stuff I want to review. Quite often plugin people will send me their stuff and say, can you do us a review? That's different. I will sometimes do it if it's something I want to review. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes they send me an NFR, which is a not for resale copy, which means it just means they've given me a copy of that plugin. It doesn't make any difference as to whether they do that or whether they don't. Quite often I prefer to review the demo, because the demo process is part of the review. I want to see how hard it is to get the demo, how annoying is the demo. That's important to me. So I'm not bothered if they send me an NFR or not. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's, you know, a bit awkward with when I then give it a bad review. But that's, you know, that's the way it goes. I'm not really trying to build relationships with plugin companies. I'm trying to build relationships with you guys to trust me that I'm just being honest about whether I like something or whether I don't. Anyway, that's about it. Yeah, no one pays me. No one makes me review anything I don't want to review. That's it. As for the free gear that a lot of people get sent, and I found out some things since I've been doing this which have been really quite shocking. I found out quite a lot of big YouTubers in this sector are charging a lot of money to review gear, or insisting that they keep the gear. I've never done that. I don't have any gear in here that was given to me as part of an exchange. If you review it, you can keep it. No, I bought all my own gear. Yeah. Sometimes a manufacturer and me will have a relationship, and I might get a bit of a discount, but that's nothing to do with doing a positive review. And generally, I won't review stuff in that situation. So yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. But I see plenty of people that do, even people that have called it out. I've seen them. Do you remember when the new IK Multimedia dropped their new monitors earlier this year? Everybody was reviewing them in the same week, and I know a lot of people got to keep them. I also know a few people that sent them back. But that kind of thing it doesn't help, does it? We just get spammed with the same review by everybody on the same week, and we're not sure whether to trust it, because clearly they're all keeping the speakers. Anyway, whatever. Each to their own. But I don't do any of that, just so you know. Everything here is paid for by the fact that this is not my main job, doing YouTube reviews. My main job is being a mastering engineer, and that's what pays for the stuff in my studio. Anyway, moving on. Today, we're going to be looking at something that's really quite old. It's been around ages, and it's fantastic. And even better than that, it's free. Today, we're going to be looking at the Kotelnikov from TDR, Tokyo Dawn Labs. Let's find out, is it? That was a long, tedious intro, eh? You're glad you stuck around for that. Yes, let's have a look at the Kotelnikov. Bit of a mouthful. Tokyo Dawn Records, they do some awesome plugins, and good on them. They do some versions of their plugins which are completely free. And I think the idea is, look how good the stuff is we do. Imagine how good the stuff is that we charge for, because it's all quite reasonable. None of it's expensive. Anyway, let's have a look at the Kotelnikov, see what it is. Well, basically, it's a mastering compressor. It's incredibly well spec'd and sounds great. Let's have a look at the interface. It looks very plug-in like, doesn't it? It's not trying to be a piece of hardware, really. It's got well, they go out their way to mention that on the website. They're not copying anything. This isn't modeled or anything. This is their own design, just something they thought would work, and work it does. So it's a mastering compressor with really good high spec. Let's go through it. Let's start kind of on the left, but not quite. We've got the threshold. You can see the sort of row of LED kind of thing around the outside. That's showing you your input level, so it's easy to set the threshold. You then have peak crest. That's not something you see very often. So basically that is the threshold of the peak relative to the RMS. Bit weird, but that's what it is. So high settings would give you very smooth compression, low settings less so. If you turn it fully to the left, it disables the RMS bit of the detection circuit. And if you turn it fully to the right, it disables the peak detection. So if it's not fully left or fully right, this has two detectors. It detects the peaks and the RMS. You can disable one or the other by flipping it all the way one way or the other. It's incredibly useful to have both. And these two LEDs down here showing you the release of the peak and the RMS, they really give you a clue as to what the compressor is doing, along with the delta button. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, next up, we've got the soft knee. So how soft is it? Then we've got the ratio. You've got a lot of ratios, a lot of control over the low ratios. Once it goes above the halfway point, you get less control as they get higher, because you probably need less precision there, but I really like that. You didn't notice that for a while when I first started using it. Below this, we have the attack control. We have the release for the peak and the release for the RMS. Incredibly useful. So how quick do you want your transient peaks to release, the detect, and how quick do you want, or not the detect, the actual compression, how long do you want the RMS, the root mean square, the average to take to release? It's so useful to be able to set a fast release for the peaks and a slow release for the rest of it. I love it. That's such a great feature. We then got the gain reduction meter. The more gain reduction you're getting, that will self-calibrate to show more. That's a really clever feature. We've then got the makeup control. Obviously, whatever you've taken off, it's good to put it back. You've got a dry mix. So adding the dry signal back in for parallel compression, it's a really good trick, especially in mastering. So experiment with that. We've got an output gain below that. We've then got bypass. Obviously, click bypass often to see what you're doing, but also delta. Listen to what it's adding or taking away. Listen to the difference. That's what the delta is. Incredibly useful. Yeah, you'll see it in the demo at the end. I use it often because it's so good to know what it's doing. Right, let's swing all the way back over to the left. We have got the low frequency relax settings. So you can set a slope and you can set the frequency, and it's your side chain. It's saying, look, below this, don't let this trigger the compressor, because a lot of low end content can cause pumping and compressor to trigger when you don't really want it to. It's quite detailed, and if you want, you can click on the little graphic and drag it there. It's not too easy to do that. It's better to use the numbers in the boxes. We've then got the stereo sensitivity. So you can basically say, I want this to react to stereo-ness or not so much. And it's a percentage between 1 and 100, or you can click on the graphic and drag. So do you want things to trigger the compressor that are only on one side or not? How much do you want them to get involved in triggering? That's a really useful setting as well. That's kind of it. You can run it in stereo, you can run it in mono, you can run it left side only, right side only, mid only, sides only. Incredibly well spec'd from that point of view. What else? That's kind of it, I think. Let's talk about, so this version is completely free, which is awesome, obviously. But they do a GE, which stands for Gentleman's Edition, which is 50 euros. What do you get for your 50 euros? Well, it's the same as this, plus it has external sidechain, so you can trigger it from something else, which is useful. This one does have some harmonic content in it when you drive it. It's very subtle, but if you really push into it, it will generate some harmonics. So there's some modeling going on in there. The other version has slightly more. and it has frequency dependent ratio function, which again is very clever. It's kind of getting into the realms of, you know, super compressor territory, you know, to be able to set the ratio dependent on the frequency. That's some clever stuff. But again, you know, get the free one. It's probably going to do everything you want it to do. And if you fancy those other features, €50 is you know, it's not a bad price at all, is it? So yeah, demo wise, obviously there isn't one because it's free. You just go and download it from TDR. The price is free. Can't argue with that. Star rating, it's got to be 5 stars because A, it sounds awesome. The amount of people I've played this or used this on their stuff and they've said, wow, that sounds incredible. It sounds like hardware. It's really good. Gets forgotten a lot. The interface is great. Works flawlessly. You can't argue with the value. It's got to be 5 stars. There's just no way around it. So yeah, Tokyo Dawn Records TDR Kotelnikov. Fantastic mastering compressor. Anyway, the demo is at the end. Check it out. I'd really be interested to know what people make of it because we pay such a lot of money for software compressors all the time, and some of them don't do half of what this does or as well. So definitely check it out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. Might do another free plugin next, actually. You'll have to watch the next video and find out if that's what we did. Anyway, if you could like the video, that really helps. If you could subscribe to the channel, that massively helps. We just hit 11,000 subs, by the way, so thank you for that. Very much appreciated. What else can you do? Well, you could follow me on Instagram, which is Mixdown Mastering. See what I get up to in here all day, every day. There's also the Studio Life website where we've got the top 5 plugins, and there's information on the mixing courses and mastering courses and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, I will see you next time. Adios.